Hey, hey, it's Final Fantasy Friday. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IV with me, jrpg. And right at the end of the last episode, we lost Sid. So his survival is unclear at this time, but he told us to head to Baron to meet up with his worker friends who he assured would help us. But we haven't gone directly there. Instead, we are currently at the Kingdom of Eblan, which we heard from Rubicante has fallen. And he seemed to consider Eblan some kind of threat, so I was a little anxious to go check it out. So let's explore this ruined castle for right now. Because as you'll see, this place is an absolute treasure trove. Now, it's not immediately clear how we get to these treasure boxes, but if we explore around a little bit, we'll find that we can walk through the walls in here in certain places. Which is pretty cool, and, you know, one of the main things that they preserved in the American version that makes the game a little bit difficult, I would say. And you might be wondering, how do we get to this one over here behind the pit trap in the floor? Well, we've got to come through the wall over here. And what will we find inside? Monsters! Now, this fight is actually a little bit dangerous. In fact, all of them in here are. So we're not going to mess around. Wow, 260? Geez, we're just going to use Titan to win these fights. Well, that was a pretty good shot. Wow, Cecil. Okay, I'm glad Bluster didn't do anything just there. They must have targeted Kain. Boom, taste it. And Titan should clean up this Lamia pretty nicely. Alright, what do we get for our trouble? The Drain Lance. Now, I love this thing, and we're going to go ahead and put it on, but it comes with a few caveats. So let's start with the good part. The Drain Lance deals damage and then also heals at the same time. So when Kain connects, he more or less gets a full heal. However, it's minus 10 to all stats. It's worse for his defense. And it has really, really bad accuracy, so he's going to miss on a semi-regular basis. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, it does extra damage to giants, not that that really matters too much. So it's maybe not the best weapon for Kain to be using, but it is fun, so I'm going to use it. And we, of course, have another trap chest right here, and it's going to be 3 Titans who eat rubies. And these guys are basically immune to magic, so I'm just going to attack with Rydia and see if I can get down her paralysis effect. Boom, there you go. I hope Rosa doesn't kill this one, because we can move on with our attacks to the next one. Kain should finish it up, and even if he doesn't, yeah, look at that. Heals him for 1,000. Never mind, it's gone. So fortunately, these guys aren't too dangerous. They can sometimes hit pretty hard, but overall, I'm not too afraid of them. Oh my god. As soon as I say that, Cecil is almost dead. But Kain is actually landing his shots, which is helping tremendously. That was a little bit of a close call. I'm glad I got that heal spell down. Cool, got the paralyze? I love it. Alright, Kain hit all of his jumps. That's sweet. We get an elixir for that? Neat. Now this is going to take us all the way out of the castle, and then we're going to pop back in and check out the other tower. And you definitely don't need to come this way first. There's a lot you can do right off the bat once you first get the airship, right? And we're going to be coming back here pretty much immediately after we go to Baron. Oh, right, I remember this one. It's down this way. There we go. But I find the treasures in here pretty exciting. So I just kind of wanted to come and do it right away. So we're going to go ahead and hit the scale man as hard as we can. Let's just do a Jinn. And I'm going to wait just a little bit before I fire off this Tier 3. Until this jump lands and maybe Jinn goes off. There we go. I doubt this is even going to land like Jinn should do this, but... Ooh, Rosa learned fast. When we get the Slumber Blade. Now, this sword is pretty bad. We can check it out. Unfortunately, Cecil doesn't really get anything cool for a little while here. It's 20 less attack, but it does have a 30% chance to land sleep. But, like, come on. There's no way I'm using that. All right, let's head upstairs. And right through here, we can access these. And I think I'm going to go ahead and switch off Rosa's arrows. I want to hang on to a few ice arrows, I think. So why don't we just go ahead and use Medusa? I've got 30 of those. That works for me. And then here's a hidden staircase, granting me that ether. Now, we can head into the center part towards the throne room. And there should be a few more treasures left for us in here. This one is pretty easy. You just walk in a straight line towards it. But I feel like this is maybe getting you ready for what's coming up, where we're going to have to deal with a lot of hidden passages. But fortunately for us Americans, in the dungeons, those are visible, whereas they're not in the castles. But once again, I mean, I know I said it already, but I kind of like the fact that they're visible in the dungeons. It doesn't sound fun to me to constantly be searching to see if there's a secret passage somewhere. It probably does mean you end up in a ton more random encounters, though, just looking for those things, so you gotta get your leveling done somehow, right? Alright, we're all done in here. And now we can head to Baron as per Cid's instructions. These are new. I wonder how strong they are. Not very, okay. It's a little worrisome when it's an area you're not supposed to be just quite yet and you get in a random encounter on the one step that you possibly could. I am out of MP, which is a little bit concerning, but I do have enough for a lit 2, and they're flying, so I'll go ahead and give that a try. I will say this, growing up playing these games made me learn a lot of new words and animals and things. Like, I had no idea what a rock was. Yep, there's that miss from Cain. That is going to happen on a semi-regular basis, as I mentioned. Bam! All right, get out of my way. And we're here. Aren't airships wonderful? And I don't think anyone here has anything new to say. Yep. Everyone's still marveling at the fact that the king was a monster. Which, if you vividly imagine that, it is pretty shocking stuff. Cecil, boss ordered us to attach this hook to the Enterprise. No, it won't take long. So they're gonna hook a hook, so to speak, onto the Enterprise. And we'll figure out what that's for in a minute. But for now, we get to watch these little jokesters work. And the one on the left is very uncooperative. One on the right is like this, we are working here. And he does those little 360 jumps to express his incredulousness that his friend is such a dummy. This is what Sid has to deal with on a daily basis. Now you can hook and carry the hovercraft. To hook or let go of the hovercraft, press A over the craft. Now you can go to the cave of Eblan by the Tower of Bab-il. Bring the hovercraft to the shore and detach it there, then use it to get to the cave. Sid is... And they reply, oh, I can tell you're having trouble handling him, but I won't blame you. Well, good luck. And they don't let us deliver the news. But we don't actually know what happened to Sid. And while it is a little bit strange that those two tell us exactly where we need to go, like it doesn't really make sense narratively, either way, that's the way it happens, so let's go ahead and grab our hovercraft. And now we can head to the shore over here. Let's put it down. And we can take the shallows right to this cave over here. Cave Eblana. Let's check it out. Shuriken, huh? That's very interesting. Nobody in our party can use that. At least not yet. Now, there's going to be a decent number of treasure boxes in here, and I want to open them all for sure. 1,200 gil, okay. And I'm going to hop in the water here, but there's nowhere we can really go. We can't get through down here. And if we head this way, we'll realize that it's just kind of a shortcut back to these treasures that were in the north section. So, we're all finished with this floor. Let's get a move on. Oh, cave bats are new. These are kind of a, if you watch speedrunning at all, these are kind of a notorious enemy. I'm going to put my Drain Lance back on. I have to switch this out for the Blizzard Lance if I meet skeletons, because on Undead, these sort of, I don't know what to call them, like vampire-type, blood-type weapons will do reverse damage, where they will heal the enemy and damage Kane, which is undesirable, I would say. But anyway, what I was going to say about the bats is they're kind of a notorious enemy because these are like run killers for speed runs, where you have to sit through the vampire animation for like 6 of them. And so the number of them you run into during your run can really have a big impact on your time. And there are going to be 1 or 2 other speedrunning things that I mentioned while we're playing this. And I don't know if the average Let's Play consumer cares about speedruns, but I do. And the reason is because I think that speedrunning is sort of an expression of love for a game. Like, if you really, really love a game, I feel like you want to learn every single thing there is to know about it. Now, we've arrived in what appears to be like a town-like area, so let's talk to everyone. Ah! Thought you were monsters. We're the people of Eblan. That's right. We lost our place to live. This is our home now. Everyone from Eblan who survived the Golbez's assaults fled to here, and this is where they live now. And this is the inn. We can check out the item shop, but I don't think we need anything. Not really. But I guess we may as well stay at the inn. Why not? We have 125,000 gil. I think I can spring for 700 for a night. But just to kind of finish my thought about speedrunning, I really like knowing what makes games I love work, like down to the actual coding level. And I think that's what a lot of speedrunners do, so I find things like that very interesting, just as an illustration of sort of how something like this is made. And so this is the weapon and armor shop, so there's a couple of exciting things here. First is the black robe for Rydia. Say that 5 times fast. And this is going to grant +5 intelligence, which is very nice indeed. And what is Rosa wearing, actually? Yeah, wizard. Okay, that works for me. And now let's check our loadout for Cecil and Kain. We have Ice Shield, Ice Armor. So I could probably use an Ice Shield and Ice Armor for Kain. So we'll go ahead and throw that on. And I think for now, we're going to mix and match. So we'll go like Ice Armor, Fire Shield. That will grant us resistance to both elements. So that's what we're going to rock with for right now. Now, I could sell some stuff, but I don't really need to. But let's check out the weapons shop. So there are some things here in case we missed anything. But we don't need to buy anything for right now. But the fact that they're selling, like, ice gear should be a little bit of a clue that you're going to want some ice gear on you. We could go with a power staff, but, like, nah. And interestingly, there are a couple of weapons for sale that no one can use. And we found those shurikens that no one can use as well. But let's keep exploring. We hid in here. Food is running short. That's not good. But I feel like maybe you could just run outside and hunt some monsters the way that we kind of do. I can't believe that we ninjas are defeated this easily. Where did those monsters come from? And that's right. The kingdom of Eblan is a kingdom of ninja. The king and queen were taken when the prince was gone. To rescue the king and queen, the prince is digging a hole into the Tower of Bab-il. But I haven't seen him lately. So we're going to try and catch up with him. I'm going to protect my mom. She is pregnant. And she says, oh, sweetie. I mean, you should protect your mom if you can, right? This may be the end of the ninjas of Eblan. Well, I hope not, but it's not looking good. And she says, honey, hold on. And he says, our prince can do it. Yep, people believe in the prince. The prince will beat up those bad guys, right? Yes, he actually will. It turns out the prince is very cool. In fact, I've been looking forward to this for pretty much the entire playthrough so far. So I'm really, really excited to go ahead and catch up with that prince. Our prince went to look around, but hasn't come back yet. And this path leads to the Tower of Bab-il. That's where Rubicante has his headquarters. Yep, we already know that. Now, it's not completely clear to me, but did the prince dig this entire thing? Like, all himself? But he sounds like kind of a badass. Oh, look at this. The prince went alone. And that's right, he's lost the people that he came in here with. I don't know if they were helping him dig the tunnel, but the way that I like to imagine it is that he kind of came in with a party of fellow adventurers, and they've all fallen along the way except for him. I think Ironbacks are new. I certainly like their color palette, the like dark gray and purple. That's really cool. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with Fire 2. I seem to recall Black Liz as being weak against fire. I could be wrong about that, but we'll see. I love it when Kain lands those hits. It's literally just like a fat amount of damage and a full heal. Maybe weak against fire was an exaggeration. Weak against ice, okay. Or maybe Cecil's just super beefy. Nailed the paralyze. I love it. Easy peasy. All right. Kane leveled up. You'll love to see it. Yeah, that should be good. Now, I feel like I didn't finish talking about fast, where it's not nearly as good as in the first Final Fantasy. Stop the prince, he says. I feel like if he dug this tunnel himself, literally no one can stop him. Dead end right up here. And unfortunately, there's no secret passage there or anything. Wait, are red bones new? I feel like they are. I gotta get rid of this drain lance. Maybe I should put the Blizzard Spear higher up. But they're gonna die the same way that all undead do. And to finish about fast, what it does is speed up your turn. So your sort of unseen meter that builds to begin your turn prompt just goes faster. It doesn't like double the number of attacks you do or anything crazy. Which is a little sad, but you know. It's still pretty good. But it's not mega super busted the way it is in the original game. Another shuriken. I like that. Now, why don't we check out up here? Yeah, this is what I want. Cure 3, and we can't access that chest over there yet. So we'll keep heading down for now. The prince is going after Rubicante. I want to catch up with this guy, because that's who we're after, too. And I want to come up here to grab those 2 chests. A couple of elixirs. I love that. All right, let's go ahead and top up. And I love finding elixirs because I'm never going to use them. Prince easily loses his temper. That is a fact. However, I feel like if your kingdom was destroyed, that would be a good time to lose your temper. All right, little treasure trove there. And there's like one more treasure box we saw on the way here. Now, right over here is going to be a save point. So why don't we go ahead and use that? We have like 6 cabins, why not? And I don't think we need to save right now. But what do we have here but monsters? And this one is not tough at all. You know what, let's get our drain lance back on. I did say we were going to use it. I keep having to switch it out for the skeletons. Because believe me, you do not want to accidentally jump with Kane on a skeleton. He might kill himself. Cecil fell asleep, come on! Let's just cast heal on him, I guess. Nice, got the paralyze. He's not going to last long anyway. But it couldn't hurt. I did not think he was going to survive that jump, but here we are. Oh, I should have attacked the other one. What am I doing? Oh, well. There we go. That's a proper amount of jump damage. what do we get but the Drain Blade? Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's going to be really sweet, right? Actually, it totally sucks. For some reason, it has just no attack. And it's -5 to all stats, which is, like, less bad than the Drain Lance, but the attack is so wimpy. And the extra damage to giants doesn't really help. So it's just real bad, unfortunately. But it is a unique, so I want to grab it. But Cecil and Kane can't be matchy-matchy, unfortunately. And a life potion. And now, let's go ahead and catch up with the prince. I want to meet this guy. And look who it is. And the man says, hey, Rubicante, I was waiting for this day. Rubicante says, have I met you before? Man says, I am Eblan's Prince Edge. Rubicante says, Eblan, what's that? I mean, he definitely knows what Eblan is. And Edge says, don't play the fool with me. And now this is just an auto battle to show what Edge can do for the time being, but he can use weapons in both hands, and he is one of my favorite characters. He's so cool. However, he foolishly casts Flame on the Fiend of Fire. And Rubicante responds, was it Flame? I will show you how. And he's gonna cast Glare for big fat damage, and down goes Edge. Blast you. Rubicante says, indeed you're strong, but still no match for me. Challenge me after you've become strong enough. And Rubicante is kind of weirdly honorable that way, but you'll see a little bit more of that pretty soon. Well, wait! Cecil says, you okay? And Edge just replies, how could I lose? Rydia says, we're also after Rubicante for his crystal. Edge says, why don't you stay out of this? And Kane says, he is one of the fiends of elements. Cecil says, haven't you tasted enough of his power? And Edge replies, thinks I'm just a spoiled prince, huh? The royal family of Eblan is trained as ninja. I can take care of this myself, okay? Rydia says, stop it. No more. I've had enough. Tella, Yang, and even Sid. We lost them all. All. And Edge says, hey, come on. Rosa says, Rydia, and Rydia just cries. Cecil says, Rubicante is the strongest of the four fiends, but we still have to recover the crystals. Edge says, can't keep this pretty girl crying. Why don't we work together on this? Kane says, considering the fact that he's wounded, he sure bluffs. Well, Rosa? Rosa casts Cure 2. And Edge says, thanks, girl. You're cute, too. He's a little bit of a Chad. Right, men, let's go. Rydia says, give me a break. And yes, we have a ninja in our party. Oh, this is so sweet. Now, before we go, obviously I want to grab this chest over here. It's just looking at me. Filled with an Ether 2. And here we are at the Tower of Bab-il. Above ground, although we got there through a cave, but this would be the section that we can see from the overworld. I think these guys are new. We got some blade men and a sorcerer. Now, Edge has a number of abilities. We saw his ninja skill. Right now, all he can cast is Flame, but he has sort of the same kind of... I don't know if I want to say low level, but it's like unique magic. But in the original Final Fantasy, ninjas have access to up to level 4 black magic, and it's sort of the same in this game. I was hoping to paralyze him, but it didn't work out. He also has Sneak, which is actually Steal. And I don't hate Steal abilities, but I kind of hate them because here's the thing. They make you waste a turn on something that may or may not succeed, and there's no way to know, without looking at a guide, what you can actually steal from enemies. So there are very oftentimes hidden in games like this things that you really, really do want to steal, like cool uniques and stuff, but you wouldn't know that naturally unless you just tried to steal from every enemy, which to me is a little bit boring because it doesn't keep the combat moving. You have to just kind of sit there and like cast debuffs and then steal over and over until it works, and I kind of hate that. But the good news is that in this game, there aren't very many, or really anything that you really, really want to steal. So Cecil says, how are we going to get in? And Edge says, watch. Here we go. And he apparently, using his ninja skills, can get through walls. But because we end up with the Edge sprite leading the party, I think that's what we're going to keep. Oh, it's a green dragon. Okay, we can actually keep this in. This guy is kind of dangerous. Let's go Virus, because I actually don't know what his elemental weakness is. Okay, that works. Oh, Virus, you never let me down. And another reason to keep Edge leading the party as our sprite is that he has a very good reason to be coming after Rubicante. Not that the rest of the party doesn't, but I don't know, he's new and I love his sprite, so we're just gonna go with it. Now we want to go past this door and grab this treasure up here. We saw it on the way in. Let's check out how many items we have. We have like so many. Yeah, we haven't bought a single one yet. Sure, why not? I could start using some of them instead of MP, I don't know. Wow. That last fight, they literally all just only attacked Rosa. That's good strategy, though. You should beat up the white mage first. I sure do wish Edge would level up. He's like 5 levels behind us, but stubbornly is not leveling up. I suppose, however, being stubborn is in character for him. Now, I gotta tell you, if this doesn't look like a trap chest for you, you don't play too many RPGs. 4 mad ogres. Now, these are all going to be magic immune, so we're just gonna beat them up. And I forgot to mention Edge's Dart command, which is actually throw. And that's how we're gonna end up using those shurikens that we found. However, he can also throw any number of things. Swords and all kinds of stuff. So one of the things I'm thinking of doing is maybe towards the back half of the game, we'll start like throwing legend or uniques at people. Just for fun to see what kind of damage they deal. But it is a way to get a massive amount of damage out of Edge. But his dual wielding is already pretty strong, so... Wow. Kane just gave him the business, jeez. Alright, almost through these guys. Having to work through a crowd of enemies that are pretty much magic immune can be a little bit of a pain. There's not really a good way of dealing group damage to them. And Kane missed because of course he did. It's one of those things where obviously missing is very bad. And if you count when you miss versus when you hit the average, you have to average that damage out. So it averages out to being worse than probably using a more sensible weapon. But I still like it. And there is our Ogre Axe, and that's one that I wanted to talk about. Now, axes are supposed to have less accuracy, but for the American version, they kind of buffed this one. It was originally like 19 accuracy, but for the USA version, they bumped it up to 35, and it deals extra damage to giants, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on, because why not? We can use it for now. Especially since they buffed that accuracy like that. It becomes quite good. I certainly wouldn't want to, unless I was just goofing off, I certainly wouldn't want to have, like, super inaccurate weapons on both Cecil and Kane. That would be, like, insane to do. Yeah, let's just top up Edge. All right. So we are on the third basement. And we're going to go right past that room at first. All right, sweet. Edge finally leveled up. 2,000 gil. And I think I want to take a right first. And we're going to top up as usual. It's just kind of unbelievable how much MP Rosa has. Like, she's still at 82. I feel like I wouldn't even need to use an ether before we'll get to another place to recover MP. Ooh, and there's a middle sword. Now, all of Edge's swords had more, ninja-y names. Oh, you know what? He can also use claws. I kind of forgot that. It's much, much worse, though. So we're not going to do that. Oh, we never checked his loadout. I might actually have better stuff for him. I was just so excited to get him in the party. I do believe the Rune Ring is going to be better than the Silver Gauntlets. Yeah, I mean, I'll take one less defense for double magic defense. That seems reasonable enough to do. But I told you, the dual-wielding characters are all my favorite. And Yang and Edge are just the coolest. Oh, balloons are new, so we can leave this in, I guess. I probably want to kill those quick or they may explode on me, which I would not like. Let's go ahead and use a flame. It's not going to damage the Mad Ogre, but we'll see. Man, that axe is good. Do I want to tighten this? I don't think so. Let's just do Virus. Not bad. Instant. Okay. Once in a while, Bluster will do an instant kill instead of paralysis, and it's just the worst. Give him the business, Kane. Alright, Float is a good spell. I'm gonna need that. That's gonna be very important coming up. Yeah, it's funny. You'll notice basically after every fight, Kane is at full life and everyone else is damaged. That Drain Lance is awesome. Your mileage may vary, but I really like it. And another save point. Let's go ahead and use a cabin. And you know what? I'm feeling frisky. I don't think we need to save. I know that Rubicante is the strongest of the four fiends, but I'm feeling stronger. Now that one over on the right is a trick, it's a dead end. Let's go around this way first. 82,000 gil. Now that's a proper amount of gil. We're at almost 200k. I love it. What the? Look who it is. It's the king of Eblan, Edge. And Edge replies, Dad, Mom. The Queen of Eblan says, I'm glad you are fine. And Edge says, so am I. Queen says, Edge, come. King says, come with us. Edge says, to where? To the dark world. What is going on? Oh my god, the king and queen are monsters. The king says, I will bring you all down to the Hades. This is not good. That fire too was pretty wimpy, but that's probably because we've got our dual resistances now. And this is a boss fight, so we're just going to send Titan in. And Edge says, Dad? Mom? What's wrong with you? This is a very tragic scene, but seriously, look at them. What do you think is wrong with them? And poor Edge has to fight his parents. I can't even imagine such a thing. Fortunately, their elemental attacks are pretty wimpy, so we're not going to have too much trouble with this at all. And so, weirdly, really frequently, the King's Fire 2 attack doesn't do anything. I'm out of arrows, so let's go ahead and put on some different arrows then. Let's go with Darkness, why not? Even though we're not supposed to be using the powers of Darkness. Rosie hasn't gotten the memo on that, so she's going to go ahead and use her Darkness arrows. Edge says, it's me, Edge! But we're just going to keep beating on him. And they became conscious. Now, unfortunately, we have a couple of attacks coming down the pipe, so this is going to be a little rude of us. But the king says, Edge, listen. All right, Kane, ease off, we're talking here. We're no longer human. We must not live long. The queen says, I'm sorry, dear. Edge doesn't reply. He can't believe what he's seeing. And the king says, before we lose our mind, we must go. Take care, Edge. And Edge says, no, please. And his father dies. The queen says, goodbye, Edge. And Edge says, don't, Mom, don't go. But they are determined. And Edge has literally just watched his parents die in front of them, and he screams in a rage. And Rosa says, no. And there's Rubicante. Wretched Lugae, how dare he? Edge says, Rubicante, I'm not going to forgive you. Never. Rubicante replies, Lugae turned your parents into monsters on his own. I apologize for that. I'm not like the others, you see. I want to play fair. But Edge won't hear it, and he says, shut up. Rubicante says, how brave, but you'll never gain real strength as long as you are swayed by emotions. And Edge says, I'll show you the power of anger. Rage drew out Edge's hidden powers. He acquires Flood and Blitz, which are a couple of spells he can cast using the ninja command. Rubicante says, I see, but my Cloak of Flame cannot be penetrated even by cold. And that's a little clue for how we're supposed to fight him. Now, we want to get geared up properly. So we're going to go ahead and get all of our ice gear. We want our Ice Brand, Ice Shield, Ice Armor, that's all good. And for Kane, we're going to want our Blizzard Spear, Blizzard Lance, I should say, and Ice Shield. And that should be good. Oh, I do want to put the Ice Arrows on Rosa as well. And that should be good. And you might be thinking we need to heal up or recover our MP, but Rubicante says, now I restore you to full strength. Fight with all your might. And he's going to give us a full HP and MP recharge, because like I said, he's weirdly honorable. Now, he mentioned that his cloak can't even be penetrated by cold. So, in this form, he can be damaged by ice spells. So we're going to go ahead and use Flood, which is a water spell, but probably ice elemental. And our regular weapons will be fine. But when he's got the cloak up, ice magic will actually heal him. Oh, that's brutal. Kane survived, okay. I can't heal him while he's in the air. Ugh. Every time I cast Ice 2 with Rydia, this happens. Wow, Rosa did some beefy damage. But right now, we don't want to cast Flood because it would heal him, so we do want to just chuck a Shuriken at him. Wow, 3,700. Unfortunately, Rydia's going to heal him. I hate that. But I will tell you this. I found Rubicante so cool and just iconic as a character. This form right here, I would love to get a tattoo of this. I just think that would be the coolest thing ever. Oh, I should have casted Flood there. What am I doing? I'm just admiring Rubicante's leg, honestly. 6,000! Oh, that's gonna drop her. Alright, that didn't kill Kane. I love that. Let's go ahead and use a life on Rydia. Try to get her back up if we possibly can. And I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, we got him. All right. Rubicante says, I lost now, but I shall return. Good luck. And down goes Rubicante for now. He says he's going to return, and I believe him. And for our trouble, we get 7,000 gil and 5,000 XP, which is quite a bit. Edge is going to level up again and learns Pin. That's kind of like a paralyze attack for his ninja command. And Rubicante says, well, now I see why Golbez had a hard time with you. Weak people can join forces. I admire you, warriors. Farewell. And that's kind of faint praise, isn't it? And Edge says, Dad, Mom, I avenged you. And someone calls out, Your Highness. And it's good that Edge managed to get his vengeance right away. But here comes the castle crew. Edge says, Chamberlain. And the Chamberlain replies, we won't let your highness go alone. Where's Rubicante? And this old man's like, where is he? Let me at him. Edge says, it's over. We did it. The Chamberlain says, that becomes the prince. And Edge says, all because of these guys. And the Chamberlain says, thank you, good sirs. Edge says, who is Golbez? Kane says, the one gathering the crystals to reach the moon. He is the mastermind of Rubicante. And Edge says, why the moon? And Cecil replies, for the power, but we don't actually know what that means yet. Rydia says, and we have to stop him. Edge says, Golbez. So he was behind all this. I'm gonna go get it. Chamberlain says, oh, but your highness, we must rebuild our castle. And Edge says, the world is in danger. I gotta do something. Besides, I don't like that guy. Chamberlain says, oh, but your highness. And Edge replies, don't worry. Now go back to Eblan. Chamberlain says, very well. Sirs, please take care of our prince. And believe me, we will. I love Edge. And they all say, your highness, good fortune be with you. And Edge says, okie dokie for some reason. I feel like that's a bad translation, and he maybe said something cooler than that, but who knows? Edge says, right, let's go smash Golbez. I like his attitude. And Rydia says to get back the crystals. Edge says, all right, now let's go. And we're going to go ahead and top up after that fight. But I felt like that went well. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's go. And look at this. It's the crystal room. Here are all the crystals. Can't we just take them? A pitfall? That's right. We, of course, forgot to roll perception to check for traps, and down we go. Ouch. Kane says it seems like we've fallen to the underground. So we are elsewhere in the tower now. Secure 2, and I don't know how we survived this fall, but we are actually all the way down in the underground again. I think a grudger is new. So we'll go ahead and keep this in. You have to be careful because the blade men can cast wall. I should probably redo my gear too now that we're done with the elemental fight, but we'll wait for an opportune moment to do that. But if they cast wall, they can reflect your spell back at you, and that can end up being a little bit annoying. Fortunately, they didn't do that this turn. Ooh, that was close. Alright, no more regular spells for Rydia. Ninja cannot be reflected, so why don't we try it out? Let's just do a blitz. We haven't seen that yet. That one is so sweet. I love the animation for it. It really just looks like a cool lightning spell. I love it. Alright, so why don't we fix up our equipment real quick? We'll just put the flame shield back on. And same for Kane. I know I got a fire shield in here somewhere. There we go. Yep, we look good. Let's keep going. And if you're wondering, does this mean that we're going to end up back in the underworld? Yes, it does. Yeah, that should be fine. I don't even really feel the need to be efficient. Now, if you're thinking, this looks like a trap chest, you're wrong. Ooh, Iron Man are new. I wonder if those ones are magic immune. We'll find out. Only one way to find out, right? You know what? Let's just get a Cure 2 down on Rydia. One of the cool things about Virus, please don't be an instant kill. Come on. That's going to be the wrong order. Thank you, Cecil and Rosa. You make a great team. All right. Very low probability he's going to hit Rydia, but why don't we just get a Cure 2 down on her as soon as we can? There we go. He's really picking on her, isn't he? But what I was going to say is one of the coolest things about Virus is that you can't see it, but it is constantly lowering their HP. So enemies can literally just run out of HP and die from it, which is pretty cool. You know what? Before we go too much further, why don't we top up? And look at this huge room in front of us. What could this be? What? Look at this, a new airship? Edge says, let's take this airship and get out of the tower. Rydia says it's not yours. And Edge says, that's okay, it would be happy to be used by us. That's right, ninjas have no problem stealing. Isn't this a trap or something? And Edge says, don't worry, I like this airship. Let's call it Falcon. How do you like that? Cecil says, hurry, Edge. Edge says, okay, okay. Now, go, Falcon. And that's right, as is tradition, our airship rises out of the ground. How cool is this? We've got an airship in the underworld. Now, unfortunately, we can't currently fly over the lava because it's too hot, but we can get back to the Dwarf Castle. And since that's the only place we can go, that's where we're gonna go. And figure out where our adventures will take us next. But that's gonna have to wait until next time because I'm all out of time for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Final Fantasy Friday.